Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Saturday, another session at Zero to Hero Microsoft Learn community. And here, this is Saidol, together with Mohsen Akhavan, another community
Hello
leader.
everyone.
So we are going to have another amazing session today, Mohsen. We have a special guest from Microsoft. She's going to blow our mind about AI feature. And yeah, I really looking forward for this session. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time of talking because we have a special guest today. So let me share my screen, and as usual, we have this one. Okay, yeah. So again, Microsoft Learn community. If you haven't joined us yet, aka.ms, join Zero to Hero. Waiting for you to be part of this big community. We almost 3,000 members together to learn about very cool feature services in Microsoft Cloud world. So about Microsoft Learn. As usual, Microsoft Learn is the richest place that you can be part of a big community and have communication with experts. You can share your insight, your idea, and you can be connect to a big world of learning. And if you want to learn more about Microsoft Learn community, aka.ms/Microsoft Learn community, or if you want to join to one of Microsoft learning rooms, you can use this link, aka.ms/learning rooms. As you know, we are pretty close to one of the events from Microsoft Learn called AI Skills Challenge. We encourage you to be part of this AI Skills Challenge because you are going to learn a lot of good things related to AI in based on 4 different challenges. So from March 19th to April 19th, we are waiting for you to be part of this big party. So if you want to learn more about AI Skills Challenge, ak.ms/AI Skills Challenge. Once again, code of conduct. We expected you to be aware of others, be friendly and patient, be welcoming and respectful, be open to all questions and viewpoints, and also be understanding of differences, be kind and considerate to others. So before I add our guest to a stage, I would like to kind of introduce her. So just a second. Yeah, let me add her here. Then I can speak about that. So Simi is here, is Director AI Specialist at Microsoft, responsible for accelerating market adoption of AI and driving some of most strategic and innovative customer AI project leveraging Azure AI ML products and services. She both on impressive career in technology sector. Her journey commences with notable stints at Cisco, Google, and Amazon Web Services, where she helped customers enable innovation technologies such as artificial intelligence and machine learning. She is also the founder of Project Omevai, if I'm not mistaken, feature of ABC News, where she invented and innovated cost-effective solar-powered infant incubator for premature infants in developing countries. So she's here. Very welcome, Simi. We are so happy to have you here in Azure Zero to Hero community today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to talk to everyone here. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, Mohsen, do you want to add anything, or we are going to hand over the stage to
Yeah,
this
we can
lady in tech?
hand her to Simi. Yeah, before that, I wanna mention again about the AI party. Don't miss that. And I'm so excited about this party. Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead, Simi.
yeah, the stage
The
yours.
stage is yours.
Yeah,
Awesome. Is my screen being shown? There we go.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So let's get started. So thanks again for having me at the Azure Zero to Hero community. So, I'm definitely excited to be here. And so this session is titled Inside the AI Revolution and How Microsoft is Empowering the World to Achieve More. So I think the team already did a great job introducing me. So I'm going to go ahead and skip this slide and we can jump right in. So before we do, I'll just set the stage in terms of, how this talk will go and just frame the session. And I'm sure probably since you all are very big fans of Azure, you've all probably tried ChatGPT. And, generative AI will be a big piece of the talk today. I think ChatGPT really made AI very mainstream. And since then, AI adoption and investment is up, right? And so this wave of AI technology really has everyone thinking about what it means for them and how will it shape the future of their industries. So, in my opinion, there's a lot of buzz about AI, but there's not enough information getting out there about how businesses across industries are leveraging it today. So, it's really up to all of us, right, to ensure we understand AI. And that's really what today is about. It's helping you learn more about what other companies are actually doing with Azure AI today. So, I'll be sharing some actual examples, some use cases that show what Microsoft's customers are doing. So during the presentation, we'll start with kind of just the background of why AI matters. We'll learn about how Microsoft is enabling everyone to use AI and really dive into the tools that Microsoft offers to help our customers build AI solutions. And then, like I mentioned, since generative AI is the hottest topic, I'll show you definitely some examples of how businesses are using LLMs or large language models to improve how they work both internally and externally. So to kick things off, I think let's take a step back for a moment. So I know there are probably a lot of developers in the audience today who already know some of these things, but I like to start here because I'm going to be using all of these terms a lot. So in the Why AI Matters section, we can just review some quick lingo and define these terms to start. So I think in terms of artificial intelligence, there's, a lot of people are understanding it and seeing it live, but really overall, it's a form of computer science, right? Where the goal is to make machines or computers as smart as or even smarter than humans. So it's really when computers can do things that normally need human intelligence to get done. So that means that computers can learn, understand, and solve problems just like people do. So the computer can do things like play games, right? Answer questions, and even talk to you, like we've seen. And the organizations that we work with have a lot of data on their customers and, on their internal processes, on their business operations. But really, in order to draw conclusions from that data, people would have to sit there and study all of it. And so AI is about unlocking the value of data and making things happen a lot faster than if a human tried to do it on their own. And when we go to machine learning, that's really just a subset of AI where machines can learn from the data that you've given it. And based on what's happened in the past, it can make decisions or predictions. Then we have deep learning. And so deep learning really is a way for computers to learn and get smarter, just like how you learn in school. So imagine if you could teach a computer to recognize different animals like cats and dogs, right? By showing them a lot of pictures of cats and dogs. So the computer would look at the pictures, learn what makes a cat, learn what makes a dog. And then when you showed a new picture, it can then tell you obviously if it's a cat or a dog. And so that's really what deep learning does. It helps the computer learn and get better at things basically by themselves. And then generative AI, which I often refer to as Gen AI, is a subset of AI where machines or computers can create pictures, music, stories, and videos based on your description of what you imagine. And so those are probably some, key terms. And then I'm sure obviously everyone here is familiar with Azure. And so I think, it really may seem to some people that AI is brand new, but it's actually very old, right? So the field has been developing since 1950. It's over 70 years old. I like to say it's old enough to run for president in America, right? And so this is really just like a new moment or a new chapter in AI. So let's answer the question of how did we get here? And so here are some of the significant milestones or previous chapters that got us to the inflection point that we're seeing today. And so I'll start in 1950. Alan Turing actually invented the Turing test to determine if a computer could pass for a human in written linguistic fluency. And then in 1959, Arthur Samuel from IBM coined the term machine learning. And in 2006, Geoffrey Hinton from the University of Toronto invented fast learning algorithms and came up with the term deep learning to explain how AI based on ML can learn like a human. And so the concept of deep learning existed far earlier, though, but he really coined that term. And then in 2014, the Generative Adversarial Network, or GAN, was introduced by Ian Goodfellow, who now works at OpenAI. And so that was where two neural networks play against each other in a game. And the goal of the game is for one network to imitate a photo and trick its opponent into believing it's real. And then more recently, of course, in 2021, generative AI really enabled us to create new written, visual, and auditory content based on prompts and also on existing data. So generative AI technology is advancing incredibly quickly. It's grabbing headlines every day. And so I work with a team of AI experts, and basically our team's chat is like TMZ for AI. So as soon as anything comes out, we know about it, we're talking about it, and we're learning. And you really have to just keep learning every day. And these experiences that are based on large language models like ChatGPT have really taken the world by storm. And part of that's because you can draw from a vast amount of data and leverage, the massive computing power of a cloud like Azure really quickly. And so the real tangible impact the technology can drive is really exciting right now. I spend a lot of my time with customers innovating. And so global spending on AI is expected to surpass like 300 billion by 2026. And AI is not just for tech people anymore. We've seen the technology break through with customers too. So AI, like what we've seen today, is truly poised, or sorry, not with customers, with consumers, right? And it's really poised to reinvent our lives and also reinvent every industry. And so when we look at AI, what we're starting to see are 4 key areas where AI can impact business. And these are the 4 key areas where Microsoft's products are really making the largest impact. So the first transformation opportunity is enriching employee experience, and that can be through collaboration and productivity. So M365 Copilot is a great example of this. And now when I miss a meeting at work, I'm able to just ask Copilot to summarize the meeting for me and also generate meeting notes as well, which is pretty great. The second transformation opportunity is in reinventing customer engagement. So AI can, will, and has already started reinventing customer engagement. So later, I'll share a demo that shows how AI can help customer service agents, for example, find relevant information in order to help their customer with specific questions and do that quickly leveraging AI. And the third transformation bucket is reshaping business processes. So later I'll share an example of how AI reshaped the process in a farm in Denmark. And then the final transformation bucket is how AI can really bend the curve of innovation. So businesses can use AI to innovate with new products and services and really create more value for their customers. So as technology continues to evolve, there's a great opportunity for organizations and individuals really to lead the way in AI transformation. And it's important for organizations to fully utilize the potential of AI while also ensuring the safety and the security of their business, their data, their employees, and their customers as well. And so that's really where Microsoft can help. And I think it'd be a great start. So I have a video here from one of our customers, CarMax. So I'll just share an example to kind of put this together before we dive a little bit into the services more. And let's watch this video from CarMax to learn how they're leveraging Azure AI.
Car buying is a big decision. It's the second largest thing a person will do after buying a home. CarMax disrupted the industry by bringing honesty and transparency. We have tens of thousands of cars on our website or through our app, and without talking to a human being, customers can get overwhelmed.
The challenge that we had was that we only could create so much content. There's manual effort, there's research, the writing, there's the proofreading.
Our writers can only produce so much content a month. It would have taken them years to produce enough pages to be relevant.
Azure OpenAI service allows us to summarize all of the custom reviews and put it in a simple to read and understandable sentence.
We're able to take content and feedback from a lot of other customers, curate it, and create this very tailored content for a specific car.
Through the fine-tuning process, we're at 80% of the content goes through without a human needing to be involved. We're estimating an individual would take 11 years to do what OpenAI service has done in days. We have seen a significant increase in our search engine optimization.
Now, the editorial team, they're able to focus their time on the areas most beneficial to the company and to our customers. There's so much possibility with OpenAI service. We're innovating at a scale, at a pace like never before. It's going to change everything we do.
Wonderful. So as you can see there, right, the impact of Azure AI is certainly very real. And so, I mean, like I said before, organizations across industries are seeing the benefits of AI today. CarMax was a great example. I think it's always great to hear from the customers themselves. And so CarMax just showed us how AI enabled them to do what would have taken 11 years before to just a time of several days. And so basically they deployed Azure OpenAI service on top of their customer review database. So they could quickly generate unique summaries for the cars available on their website based on actual feedback from customers. Strabag is another customer who used Azure OpenAI service to create a solution that allows it to assess the potential impacts of a construction project, right, in its earlier stages before comparing it against all of its realized projects. And so therefore, they're really minimizing the risk that comes with it. And with just 3 months of data, the algorithm that they built can predict risk with 80% accuracy. And then Ernst & Young is another example. They're using intelligent document automation with their clients in their new contract auditing service. So leveraging that, they've actually saved clients an average of 250,000 hours of manual work. So the impact has already been very real. And let's actually take a look at another customer in the agriculture industry. And so this is a very interesting use case out of Denmark.
Agriculture is at a crossroads. On one hand, you have innovation, sustainability, progress. On the other, you have sticking to what we know, age-old tradition, and risk being left behind. At SAGES, we made that choice years ago, and we've devoted ourselves to it ever since. We want to make a difference in agriculture. As the leading agricultural knowledge and innovation center in Denmark, we want to help farmers be more sustainable and innovative. Combining data and AI, we found a new way to do it, to help farmers take the innovation road and never look back.
Sigi's innovation specializes in helping farmers and food manufacturers to run their business in a more sustainable way. To do that, we use data, huge amounts of data. We spent decades on building massive data sets on cows, dairy, beef, crops, and a lot more. To make sense of all these data, we have put together a data science team. They're tasked with understanding the data and turning it into products and models that we can use to support our partners.
For years, Sigis had an on-premise legacy solution that was hard to maintain and hard to work with. Using Azure Machine Learning, we built an MLOps platform that helps them train, test, and productionalize machine learning models in the easiest possible way. The MLOps platform simplifies the process of using data to develop and test new machine learning models and makes it easier to build them into software products. It also connects to Microsoft Intelligent Data Platform, which allows us to connect to Azure Data Lake Storage Generation 2 and services like Azure Synapse Analytics and Azure Databricks. Another really cool thing we did as part of the collaboration was to build a repeatable MLOps framework that allows Sigis to get up and running really quickly with new use cases without having to reinvent the wheel each time.
This platform is allowing us to significantly optimize the machine learning lifecycle. Maintenance costs are down by more than 95%, and the direct cost of running a model have been reduced by more than 80%. Before, all machine learning models were retrained and deployed manually. Now, we have completely automated these processes, allowing us to automatically retrain, test, and deploy models as often as we like. As a result, the average time between retraining has gone from 6 months down to a single day, which is a massive benefit for our users.
Most importantly, we're even better at helping our farmers to be more sustainable and efficient. We can now predict high-risk cows and detect diseases early, up to 90% of the time. Ultimately, this helps the farmers, the food producers, and the organizations to transform our sector and make it better day by day.
Wonderful. So that's another example. So really from those two videos, what I want you guys to take away from this is, the vast industry types that are already being affected today at Microsoft, from the car industry to agriculture. And so it's really across the board in terms of the innovation that we're seeing. And really our mission at Microsoft is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. And nowadays, a lot of companies cater to a niche market. And one of the reasons I joined Microsoft is because they truly want to be for everybody on the planet. And they're one of the only companies touching the whole world. And Microsoft has really invested in AI innovation for years, right? They've spent decades in research and development. They're committed to not just AI, but to responsible AI. And so as a result, Microsoft is trusted by AI leaders like OpenAI, also Mistral out of France, and many others. And so, for example, with OpenAI builds and trains all of their models and experiences using the AI infrastructure of Microsoft Azure. And the two companies are collaborating to develop AI technologies, advance AI research, and make AI more accessible to everyone. And Microsoft has used Azure AI to bring an AI-powered experience to all Microsoft products. So you're probably already using some of these capabilities on this slide to help you be more efficient today. And so, for example, each month in Microsoft Teams, Azure AI transcribes over 54 million hours of meetings in real time. And then with PowerPoint, each day, people are creating up to 4 million PowerPoint slides using the new AI-powered designer feature. And there's also M365 Copilot and Copilot tools, Copilot Studio as well. But we can talk about those another day. I think, what I want to highlight today is that at Microsoft, we're not really only embedding AI into our own solutions, we're equally focused on really helping customers and individuals create apps of their own. So the building blocks of all of the AI experiences within Microsoft's products are Azure AI. And then with Azure AI Studio, you can leverage all the Azure AI services to create your own apps. So let's kick things off with another video, a quick video about our Azure AI portfolio.
We're witnessing the shift of generative AI. From a niche technology in the hands of a few to an accessible technology businesses are harnessing to benefit the many. Now you can tap into this opportunity to gain an AI advantage, get to market fast, do it right, and do so responsibly, safely, and securely. Co-pilots are becoming an AI category in and of themselves, and today you can build custom co-pilots to serve the exact needs of your customers and employees. Bringing content generation to all kinds of apps to supercharge creativity. Designing contextual experiences that impress and captivate. And freeing people to focus on their highest value work. This is Azure AI Studio, the place to build your co-pilots, where you can confidently apply the latest state-of-the-art and open source models. Easily ground responses in your data, knowing privacy is protected. Deliver multimodal interactions beyond text alone that feel more natural. And build on a foundation of trust through every step of app development. The possibilities with AI are limitless. Build your own co-pilots with Azure AI. Let's do generative AI right together.
Wonderful. So before we get too far into Azure AI, I think one of the main questions about AI is the data privacy piece. And so this is by far the most heavily discussed topic, and rightly so. And so here's really what you can count on with Azure when you partner on anything. And so with Azure AI, your data is your data. Then your data from any fine tuning is actually not used to train the AI foundational models. And then also your data is protected by Microsoft Azure, which is one of the most comprehensive enterprise and compliance, security and security controls on the market. So let's actually dive into Azure AI. And so the video I just played scratches on the surface of Azure AI and shows us, the power of Azure AI Studio. But what exactly is Azure AI? So this is Microsoft's full portfolio of Azure AI services. And so I'll actually just take a moment to highlight some of my favorite services, which are mostly the ones in orange on this slide. And so OpenAI service, which I'm sure many people have heard of, and that really enables developers and organizations to access and use the most advanced AI models in the world. So that includes ChatGPT, GPT-4, and other models as well. And then all of the Microsoft Copilot offerings I showed earlier use Azure OpenAI service. And so you can apply, these language models to a variety of use cases. And for example, chat with your data is a use case we'll discuss later. But Azure OpenAI service also includes DALL-E, which generates images, right, from a text prompt or description. And soon we're hoping it will include Sora as well, where you can generate videos from a description. Then Azure AI Search is another very heavily used one in the examples that I've seen, but it really brings an AI-powered cloud search experience to both mobile and web app development. Azure AI Speech includes, speech to text translation, text to speech, and translation to and from hundreds of different languages, as well as speaker recognition. Then Azure AI Vision enables you to distill actionable information from images. So for example, I've worked on a use case in the past leveraging vision in a popular car brand's factory. And so vision enabled them to leverage AI to inspect parts on the production line as they were going in the production line, and then identify defective parts much earlier in their production process and without any human intervention. So, I think we should try to work with the plane manufacturers on this one, so we don't have doors flying off the airplane. Then Document Intelligence, or Azure AI Document Intelligence, is an AI-powered document extraction service that understands your forms, automates data processing, and so much more. For example, we have customers who have millions of documents, which include data and updates, and I've seen them leveraging document intelligence to digitize millions of documents, extract information, and really create valuable insights. Language, Azure AI language, it really helps to easily evaluate sentiment, extract information, classify text, and understand conversational language, as well as answer questions and more. So when I say sentiment, for example, our call center solution, which I'll show later, listens to the call and can tell the customer sentiment during the call, at the beginning of the call, and at the end of the call. So when a customer called in, they might have been angry. By the end of the call, they were appreciative. And so with Azure AI language, it can collect this kind of data on thousands of calls per day. So this is an example of how AI can also be used to understand emotions and how your customers are feeling about your business. And then the last one I'll talk about here is Translate, Azure AI Translator. So that easily conducts machine translation to translate text and documents with a simple REST API call. And to keep everything easy to work with, all of these services on this slide and all the services I mentioned are in, what we call Azure AI Studio. And so that's our platform where we really bring together over 17 products under one roof. So Azure AI Studio is the place where developers can build and deploy all AI solutions and get AI to market faster. So you can check out the AI Studio platform today and start experimenting with all of the AI services on this slide if you haven't already. So this is really, what inspires us is stories like the ones that I've shown before, and we'll jump into a couple more as well. But it's, seeing such amazing companies bringing Gen AI solutions and overall all AI solutions to production. And so customers are now leading their industries. They're already differentiating their products and services with the help of Azure AI. And you might have seen in Microsoft's earnings call that there are now over 53,000 organizations using Azure AI, leveraging multiple services and tools across the entire portfolio. And then Azure AI OpenAI service alone, which was released just last year, and we're coming up on the anniversary, it has already been adopted by over 50% of Fortune 500s. And that's just incredible. And so when we look at the total value of multiple Azure AI capabilities coming together, so that's our pre-built services and machine learning, Forrester found a 150% increase in work output. And so there's actually a full total economic impact report on this that I'm happy to share with anyone if you're interested. So what I want to do for the rest of this is really focus on the customer use cases and examples related to generative AI. And, on my team, we're really quickly seeing AI conversations hone in on the how. People are excited about the technology. They want to understand how to build Gen AI applications. And they also want to know how other customers and industries are using Gen AI. So let's jump into Gen AI case studies. So I'll start here, and I think it's, valuable place to start in terms of use cases. They're really endless possibilities, and the exploration is nonstop. So let's talk through the top 10 generative AI use cases that we're seeing today. And the first one is content creation and design. And so generative AI has really revolutionized content creations with the ability to generate high quality images, videos, and graphics as well. And so this automates the creative process, really saving time and resources. And so that's a key use case that we're seeing. Accelerated automation is another one, providing really employees with reliable automated support can, of course, lead to increased efficiency, improved work life, and reduced operational costs. Then personalized marketing. Personalization increases the chances of customer engagement and conversion, and can significantly make an impact or improve marketing effectiveness, right? So generative AI enables businesses to deliver hyper-personalized marketing campaigns and tailor content to each individual's preferences. Then we have chatbots and virtual assistants like ChatGPT. But chatbots and virtual assistants can understand and respond to customer questions, provide recommendations, and offer personalized support. So this enhances the customer service experience by reducing wait times, boosting customer satisfaction and loyalty as well. Product and service innovation. I think staying innovative and meeting the evolving customer demands is essential, right, for business success. And so an example of, innovation in that space is looking at local reporters, right? They used to be specialists. They focused their time on investigation and writing. And today they need to be generalists who can create written and video content, and who, they have to know how to maximize viewership on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, and all the distribution channels. And so with generative AI, now they can actually automate those processes and focus on actual investigative journalism. So that's a good example in that use case area. Then we have language translation and natural language processing. So in our globalized world, businesses can now use generative AI models to accurately translate content in real time. That enables seamless communication across borders, bridging language barriers and gaps. Then we have fraud detection or cybersecurity. So businesses face constant threats from fraudsters and cyber attacks, and that's evolving every day. And by leveraging AI to analyze patterns and anomalies in large data sets, businesses can use generative AI models to detect and prevent fraud, safeguard sensitive information, and also protect their digital assets as well. Then we have predictive analytics and forecasting. And so accurate predictions and forecasting are vital for, effective decision making and operational efficiency. So by analyzing historical data and identifying patterns, businesses can leverage generative algorithms to make accurate predictions and informed decisions, optimize their supply chain management, optimize inventory forecasting, and also demand planning. Then we have creative writing and content generation. So businesses and content creators can use these models to generate articles, blog posts, advertising copy, images, and soon videos as well, saving time for content creators and providing fresh content to engage their audiences. And finally, last but not least, is medical research and diagnosis. So that's another top use cases in Gen AI. And so the healthcare industry can benefit from quickly diagnosing diseases, potentially leading to faster and more accurate diagnoses and improving patient outcomes as well. Researchers can utilize generative AI models to analyze medical images, detect abnormalities, and aid in the development of new treatments. And so generative AI algorithms can also assist in diagnosing diseases by analyzing patient symptoms, analyzing medical records, and this can potentially, and has in some cases already, led to more accurate and timely diagnoses. So those are really the top 10 use cases we're seeing across Gen AI. But I think, generative AI can't be just technology for technology's sake. And so it should really solve problems. And so it's really important to slow down and take a step back and ask, what are the pain points? What are the needs of our users? And so the use cases on this slide are non-industry specific use cases. We call them user-centric use cases because they're focused on solving actual pain points. And for example, modern work is amazing, but there are some situations where technology is actually getting in the way. For example, I'm sure everyone has had experience working for a company, and there's just so much information everywhere. And sometimes it feels like total information overload, or you feel like it's difficult to find the information you need in the internal database. And so AI is really able to bring things together and help people get the information that matters. And so I'm going to zoom in on 4 use cases that are, or 5 of these actually, that are very popular among our customer base and actually solve some of these pain points. So, let's talk about how AI is bringing things together. So we'll start with chat with your data. This is by far the most common use cases our, AI Global Black Belt team is seeing worldwide in all industries and every single kind of team you can think of. And so this case is increasing productivity. It's about saving time across the globe and, enabling users to chat with their own data as well. And so people are using it internally. They're also using it for their customers. So let's jump in. I actually have a video demo of Chat with Your Data that I'll share to start.
These models are one of the hot topics right now, and ChatGPT in particular is getting a lot of attention from customers. What's most interesting about all those foundation models, including ChatGPT, is that they are amazing by themselves, but even better when you combine them with your own data. Most customers will do this through a technique called prompt engineering or prompt stuffing. I'm going to show a short demo and example of how Azure OpenAI Service and Azure Cognitive Search can vastly improve knowledge mining over your organizational data using some simple integrations and some prompt engineering. Let's start by combining the Azure OpenAI Service and Azure Cognitive Search to create a ChatGPT-like experience over some private data. Contoso Electronics is a fictitious company that wants to enable its employees to ask questions about the company internal policies and corporate benefits, as well as job descriptions and roles. We've indexed all of this information into Azure Cognitive Search, such as this document on the employee handbook, and this one, which is the Northwind Health Standard Plan, one of the many plans available to Contoso Electronics employees. And if we notice at the top of this document, it's a little over 100 pages. So there's a lot of information that we can use just in this one single document to ask questions. Let's give it a try. I'm going to go back to the chat application and ask what is included in my Northern Health Plus plan that is not in standard. What's happening now is ChatGPT and Azure Cognitive Search are interacting to construct search queries, retrieve candidate information from the knowledge base, and then generate a response. As you can see, the response not only answered the question based on content found in these documents, but it has included citations to that content to validate the accuracy of the information. See how when I click on an annotation, the app jumps right to the page of the document that goes into the comparison of the plans, so that I can read more or do additional validation on the accuracy of the answer. Let's ask a follow-up question. Let's say I want to learn more about eye exams. Does my plan cover eye exams? Notice that in my question, I didn't specify what plan I have. Thanks to how we've constructed our app, we can pass context from previous parts of the chat into the prompt behind the scenes, which enables ChatGPT to answer the question and say, yes, Northwind Health Plus does cover eye exams for these particular categories. Click on the citation, and you'll see the part of the plan that covers eye exams. Now, earlier I mentioned prompt engineering. All of this demo is backed by a set of prompts that can be altered to allow you to solve different challenges. For example, I'm going to make a slight change to the prompt to ask OpenAI to take any question that is not asked in English and respond in the language it was asked in. I can just paste in a little meta prompt change and presto. In this override, what I'm saying is if I ask a question in a different language behind the scenes, convert it to English to perform the search, and then the model will respond in the same language it was asked in. Now I'm going to take a question. Let me just paste this question in and ask it in Spanish. And this question is simply asking, how do the plans compare? So it's taking that question, detecting that it's in Spanish, converting it to English, executing it as though it was just doing it before, and then returning it back. However, you'll also notice that in this particular case, it actually responded back in Spanish. But if I click on the document, you'll notice that all of the information that it generated was originally in English. I didn't need any translation of the original content to be able to support multi-language. I just needed to make that simple change to the prompt. So hopefully this gives you some ideas about how you can use these technologies to build ChatGPT-like experiences over your enterprise data.
Great. So the point of that demo was to really show how easy it is to chat with your data and save yourself from having to read entire documents. And I think on my team internally at Microsoft, we have to be careful about what processes we complain about. I think we complained about several processes, so much so that actually next week, our leadership team has set up an internal hackathon for our AI Global Black Belt team to build solutions to solve our own problems. And so it's, it can be done very quickly.
These models are...
All right, so let me take you through a customer who is using Chat with Your Data and how they're doing it, just to give more context to that use case. I think the initial demos, very good at explaining just what that use case looks like. But I think it's helpful to also understand how other companies and other industries are using it. So this is from Dentons, and Dentons is the largest legal firm in the world. And so they have had a pretty clear unmet user need to solve for, and that is in contract summarization. So basically, their employees were drowning in documents. And so they developed what they call their Fleet AI application. And they actually combined several models to do that. So they use the new GPT-4 model through Azure OpenAI services, as well as Meta's Llama 2 model. And so with their Fleet AI application, they were able to chat with their data and ask it to summarize contracts as well, which took the time it takes for contract summarization from normally 4 hours to just 5 minutes with AI. So cases like this is what we're excited to see, right? Customers are making the most of the model flexibility that Azure offers to create experiences that really set them apart in their industry. Perplexity is another chat with your data use case. In the interest of time, I'll skip this and let's dive into another area. So one of the other use cases we're seeing a lot is intelligent call centers. And so, the pain point that this is addressing is around training. And really the intelligent call centers is the ability to leverage AI to empower customer service with insights that help their customers get to a solution faster, especially when you have new customer service agents. They probably spend a lot of time searching for information to, respond to the customers that are calling in and provide the information they need. With Intelligent Call Center, AI actually listens to the call in real time. And when a customer asks a question to the agent, it automatically searches the internal knowledge base and provides the answer to the call agent. It's also able to do analytics and sentiment analysis, like I mentioned earlier, and provide insights about the kinds of calls you get each day, right? And how customers are feeling when they call in and when the call ends. So this makes the customer service process more efficient. It provides companies with data on how they can improve their customer service process. And so let me go ahead and show you a demo of part of the solution that we built really by just scraping data from like a cruise line's website and simulating a call. So I will say that this is just like a demo interface that we created, and it can be like integrated into other interfaces as well.
Hello, and thank you for calling Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. My name is Tarek. How may I assist you today?
Hi, I have questions about drink packages.
Sure, I'll be more than happy to help you with that. Can I have your first and last name, please?
Yes, it's Sarah Smith.
All right, thank you. And is your best callback number ending in 8497?
Yes.
Okay, and are you asking about the beverage package or a drink package with extra charges or complimentary drinks on board?
Can you please tell me what the different packages for wine and beer are and what comes with them? My husband and I don't drink a lot of alcohol, but I like to have a glass of wine at dinner.
Okay, let me take a look at that. If you could just give me a second here. So we do offer a variety of drink packages that include wine and beer. The deluxe beverage package does offer unlimited cocktails, beer, wine, non-alcoholic beverages, premium coffee and tea, and bottled water. Would that work?
So I'll pause real quick. If you see on the right there in this AOAI Copilot section, it's actually providing the answer to the agent that the agent is reading from.
Work for you?
I think that's more than I need. Would it be possible for me to bring my own bottle of wine on board, since my husband really doesn't drink at all?
Okay, I got that. Let me just take a look here. Yep, you are allowed to bring one sealed 750 ml bottle of wine or champagne per person on embarkation day.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a great day and enjoy your week exploring the Mexican Riviera.
Thank you. Take care.
Wonderful. So that's an example of an intelligent call center, just to show you what kind of innovation you'll see with AI in the call center place, which, call center space, which call centers exist across multiple industries. So that's another, non-industry specific use case. All right, and then we talked about, Microsoft's copilots, but customers are really getting creative in bringing generative AI into their own custom app workflows for their users. So this is another popular use cases. I'll just go ahead and share some examples from Shell and from Ally Bank. So Shell has really over 80,000 employees in over 70 countries. And so they use Copilot to build a platform that helps their teams across the world build and deploy LLM applications at scale using company knowledge. And so when releasing those tools to so many of their employees, they wanted to make sure no inappropriate or harmful responses or content was shared. And so they leverage what we call Azure AI Content Safety to really kind of govern that platform and release it to the entire team. Ally Bank is another one. They have a lot of customer service associates who have to take manual precautions to prevent personal identifying information when they engage with customers. So things like the customer's address, social security number, passport number, ID number, things like that. And so by leveraging Azure AI to build a copilot, their customer service associates were able to reduce the manual work involved in protecting customers' personal data, as Azure AI can protect that data automatically within our tools. So that's another example of how Azure is enabling users across various industries. The next pain point area is reasoning. And so instead of having decision making be such a manual process, organizations are aggregating reason over multiple data sources. So to discover information faster, enrich decisions, and customer interactions as well. So let's take a look at a couple different examples of this. And for example, Azure AI Search is another key piece here. So this is a great example from PwC of applying AI search RAG techniques. That's what we call them. And I could definitely answer questions about that as well if people are not familiar with that term. But they applied those RAG techniques to a high quality Gen AI application at PwC. And so PwC is among the leading professional services networks. They offer accounting, auditing, human resources, consulting, strategy management, all of those things. And they needed to simplify their auditing process for their clients in a way that felt effortless to the clients. And so they needed technology to work in the background and not bog down the clients. And through the combination of Azure OpenAI Service and Azure AI Search, and others across the Azure AI portfolio, PwC was able to develop what they call next generation audit to turn petabytes of data across tens of thousands of clients into a secure, simple, and efficient audit on a massive scale. So basically, they simplified their process for their clients. Heineken is another example with over 10,000 employees. They're taking advantage of Azure OpenAI Service and Azure AI Search to build their own internal multilingual chatbots to help bring workers and great ideas together across many locations. So they're becoming one of the best connected breweries by just bringing these massive discovery systems to their entire workforce, no matter where they are or what language they speak. So I think what we'll start to see is that a lot of these use cases blur together, whether it's like a simple chat with your data function or discovery system like Heineken's. At the end of the day, generative AI is really assisting people in many different forms to simplify their processes. And so customers are also leveraging information discovery. Information discovery is another key piece to streamline their operations, like Siemens. And I'll run through these next few pretty quickly in the interest of time. M&S is another company leveraging Azure AI tools. And then personalization was kind of the fifth use case area that we had on the slide. I don't think we'll have time to go through the customer stories on hyper personalization, but I can just share some examples of how customers are using hyper personalization across multiple industries to tailor the customer experience and to create recommendation engines. So in today's world, businesses have to find new ways to meet customer expectations, and AI can enhance marketing and customer service through what we call hyper personalization. So for example, for retailers, AI can analyze customer behavior and preferences to then send targeted hyper personalized product recommendations that can improve sales and also strengthen brand loyalty. Think beyond marketing and healthcare, for example, AI tools can really quickly guide patients to relevant specialists based on their symptoms and based on their medical history as well. Another, area that we're seeing hyper personalization, for example, is in finance. So AI chatbots can direct customers to relevant products based on the details of their financial situation. And so by integrating AI, businesses can put their customers first with both marketing and customer service as well. So those are, some of the 5 use cases that we're seeing, leverage in every industry. And, basically we just went from kind of data to learning with the chat with your data use cases, from just having insights to having intelligent reasoning in the intelligent call centers use cases, from drudgery or like boring and tough work to creativity by building your own co-pilots, and from turnover to retention with information discovery. And then for hyper personalization, really taking things from generic to very contextual. And so those are kind of some of the transformations that you're seeing with each of these use case areas. So really that's the vision of Azure AI, to create real business outcomes, right? And our customers are truly realizing real business outcomes and seeing real results with AI across every industry today. So customers from around the world, I shared some examples from different areas, are embracing the technology. They're driving real, tangible, and transformative value across multiple industries and sectors. And it's really amazing to see. And so as you kind of saw from the customer examples, the use cases across industries are really endless, and the impact is very real. So the ability to leverage Azure AI to build their own intelligent apps and experiences has allowed all these companies to become more agile, more efficient, and differentiate themselves from their competition. In some cases, unlocking a greater ability to scale, like with CarMax, and to accelerate their own growth as well. So every single one of the use cases and customer videos I shared were built using Azure AI Studio. And we talked about that a little bit at the beginning, but yeah, everything rolls into there. So you could literally start playing with it today. And so I think at this point, you're probably asking yourself, maybe, great, how can I take action on this, or, leverage this in my business? And I think, before I jump into that, I'll talk about kind of the drivers of AI value. And I think, the first thing to make clear is that your data is your differentiator. So if you don't have a lot of data, if you have garbage data that's not accurate, generative AI is going to give you garbage answers. And so we call that garbage in and garbage out. So getting AI ready means you've invested time to really evaluate your data estate. You're ready to make the necessary moves to migrate your data to the cloud or to Azure. And then if you want to get started with AI, the first thing to do is to assess where you are on your AI readiness journey. So there's a white paper about this called Building a Foundation for Success, a leader's guide, and that includes insights from customers, from partners, from analysts and AI leaders inside and outside of Microsoft, and obviously from our own experiences as well. But that talks about the 5 categories that form a foundation for building value with AI. And there's not really a model for all organizations, but these 5 best practices that really seem to be like the 5 pillars of AI success. So I think the things you want to ask and assess before you get started on AI transformation in your organization or on your own is kind of business strategy is the first one. So have you clearly defined and prioritize business objectives, use cases, and how to measure AI value. And then there's technology and data strategy, and AI strategy and experience, organization and culture, and AI governance as well. I think I'll say in terms of value, for example, think about how much time or money are you going to save by implementing the use case before you dive into one. Think, for example, like 2 weeks ago, Klarna released a new AI chatbot where they used OpenAI. And in 1 month, it actually handled 2/3 of their customer service chats. It had over 2 million conversations and did the work of about 700 full-time agents. And the estimated value or the profit that they're going to drive is about $40 million US. So that's a great example of business value. In the technology strategy area, you want to be asking, do you have an AI ready application and data platform, whether you want to migrate and modernize your data estate or just leverage our tools to organize your data? Azure has the resources. In the strategy and experience side, you want to be asking yourself, have you set up, a systematic customer-centric approach to AI across your organization? In the culture piece, you want to understand if you have the right operating model, the right leadership support, and an agile culture internally that's ready to embrace AI transformation top down and bottom up. And the last place you want to think about is governance. So have you established the processes, the controls, the accountability, structures that are needed to govern data privacy, govern security, and govern responsible use of AI? So that's very important as well. And so once you've done all of those things and prioritized your use cases and understand the value of them, you can move to the next step, and that's to building something. So if you have a super impactful use case, like our AI Global Black Belt team, which I'm a part of, we engage with customers to help them design the architecture of their use cases and build rapid prototypes, for example. So we're coming up on time, and so I just want to thank everyone who's on for joining today. And I think this is really just the beginning of what AI holds in store for us. And we have to really continue to pursue the vision at Microsoft to empower every person, organization, to achieve more. And so if you have questions or want to connect, please feel free to connect with me on social media. I have my information here. But thank you, everyone, for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much, Simi. It was really great. And the reason of saying that, basically, I love when speakers start talking about services and things from the creation time. So when you start from basically people right now thinking, okay, AI is a new technology, but behind the scene, it's a start from very, very older than what we are thinking right now. So
Yeah.
it was really great. And also that part that you mentioned, the 2 favorite part of the AI that basically I love to learn more about that. One of them is intelligent call center, which is really great and cool, and the other is live data analytics. That I think it's really cool to use it in like big enterprise companies or big data. So it was really great. So thank you so much for the data that you shared with
Wonderful.
us.
Thank you for having me. It's always fun to share use cases. There's definitely many more, but we only have this, a small amount of time. So I hope that was helpful to everyone.
Yeah, I believe it was like that. We don't have any question, but as Simi mentioned, if you have any question, if you want to share something with Simi, just connect her via LinkedIn or other social medias. She will be there and answer your question. Since we don't have any question, basically we have like a kind of competition in our session. So if there is a specific question, the best question, we will give out a Microsoft exam voucher. But
Nice.
we didn't have any questions, so I believe now we can kind of wrap up the session. So thank you so much again. It was really great, and I believe people or audiences enjoyed the session and the data and information that you shared with us.
Wonderful. Thank you so much and have a great evening.
Yeah, you too.